I think we're all set for another episode of Cooking with PBD. And this is a little low for me today. There we go. Hi. You think it wouldn't matter if the camera's too low considering I'm so short, but I mean, I'm already having to lean over the stove just so you guys can see me. So, hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something with PBD? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could find ourselves some brand new recipes? Just putting some olive oil in here because we're just going to quickly brown the chicken. Now, technically this recipe is not for... The recipe is made for just a skillet. And the first time I made it, I tried to make it in a skillet and we had a little bit of a disaster. I used the right size skillet and somehow it overflowed. So cleaning up burnt cream cheese and bone broth mixed together is not fun. So I do it in the Instant Pot now. I figured out how to do it and it comes out pretty damn good. It's essentially cheesy ranch chicken. It's actually really good. Especially good over rice. Now, I was going to make a side today also. I was going to cut up a spaghetti squash for the first time and stir fry it and all that stuff. Until I opened my Instant Pot. And you remember the last cooking video I made? Well, apparently that pot was still in the Instant Pot and was disgusting. So, that's also why you hear my dishwasher running in the background. Oops. So, we're just gonna stick with the chicken. I'll probably make some rice later. Alright, so first step, we are going to be seasoning our chicken thighs. I like to use chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast. If you do use chicken breast though, you want to cut it into strips and it has to be fully defrosted because the breast will end up a lot tougher if you don't. Chicken. We are seasoning the chicken with salt and pepper. Salt. And I'm going to make a mess. And I don't care because it's on the stove. I can wipe it down. Just a little bit of salt, not too much. I don't usually like to put salt because, I mean, salt isn't everything and on everything. Now, the recipe will call to season both sides. I'm just going to season the one side because, like I said, it's a lot of salt. And too much sodium is not good for you. So, just do a little bit and then some pepper. Can never have enough pepper because pepper is amazing. We are going to brown it in the skillet before we pop it in here to do the rest. Okay, so once our chicken is browned, then we're going to put it in the Instant Pot with bone broth, which is, I love bone broth, it's great. Alright, other ingredients that we're going to be needing for the chicken, besides the bone broth. You're going to need ranch dressing, or ranch, not dressing, ranch seasoning packet. You're going to be using that. Cheddar cheese, got a brand new bag here. Now, it also calls for 5 ounces of cream cheese, but really it's as much cream cheese as you want. Depends how creamy you want your sauce. I happen to have only 4 ounces, so that's what I'm working with. Like I said, we're just going to be browning the chicken, and then we're going to start the sauce in here before we put the chicken in there. Bone broth. Always shake the bone broth before you pour it because all that good stuff with the protein is going to be settled at the bottom. Settle at the bottom, then when you finally do get to the bottom, it's going to be real gritty and it's not going to be nice. You just want to fill it up to 1 cup. Wasn't sure if I was going to have enough, which it looks like it's everything I have left. I'm just going to use the rest. We're going to start this one on saute just to get that broth starting to boil a little bit. Then once it gets nice and, boiling, we're going to drop the cream cheese in while I wait for that. only take a couple minutes since we're just doing, like I said, we're just browning it, so you don't want to cook it too much. If you cook it too much here, when it goes in here, it's going to get really tough and dry, and we don't want dried chicken thighs. Nobody likes dried chicken thighs. It's not quite as brown as I would have liked, but considering it's going to go in here for like 25-30 minutes, I'll make it work. Stir that up. There we go. That's starting to boil. So we're going to throw in the, not that. Gets distracted. 4 ounces of cream cheese that I have in here. It's only 4 ounces. Okay, now we have the cream cheese in there. We're going to throw in 1.5 tablespoons of the ranch seasoning dry powder mix. I think I actually have about 1.5 tablespoons in here. Okay. And it goes. Let's get that cream cheese melted up. I probably should have cut it. I think the last time I made this, I actually cut it into 8s, and it went a lot faster. But because I'm doing this as a quick and easy stream, I just chucked the whole bar in there. Okay, once the cream cheese is a little lower, we're going to put the chicken back in, close it up, and cook it for 25 minutes. Alright, I'm going to put the chicken in now that the cream cheese. So when you do the cream cheese, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do it like I did, just chuck it in there. You want to wait till it cooks down about halfway, so you want it to melt a little bit into the broth before you put the chicken in. The other way to do it is you put your chicken in there, you put your cream cheese on top. But the reason I don't like to do that is because sometimes the cream cheese does not melt thoroughly, and it just kind of looks chunky like cottage cheese, and it's not the most appealing. So when it melts into the sauce a little bit, the flavor is much more dispersed. I'm sorry, it's dispersed evenly throughout the broth and the chicken. Pressure cook for, we'll do 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, if you're not familiar with Instant Pot, it comes up to temperature, or up to pressure. Then it cooks for the specified time, and then it'll go into a keep warm period. If you leave it on that keep warm period while everything is still technically running, that is called a natural release. If you want to do a quick release, then you just flip this little valve up here to venting until the little pressure indicator drops. Then it's safe to open the pot. Alright, so that's done. This is going to go on last, so I'm going to put it in the fridge for now because I don't want my cheese melting on the stove. And that is everything you need to do to prep for keto cracked chicken thighs. Now, I'm assuming it's called cracked chicken thighs because it is very addictive. I mean, it's ranch cheese on chicken thighs. And like I said earlier, you can put it on chicken breast also. But if you do it with chicken breast, cut it into strips first. You want all the pieces to be about the same size, same thickness, because otherwise your little end pieces are going to be completely dried out and tough. And that is not make for a good eating experience. So make sure you slice up chicken breast before you try and do the same recipe with it. Let me do this so you guys can get a better look of the chicken. There you go. Put a little bit of cheddar cheese on top. Lay that nice and hot.